Getting the Hardaway Sudden T back with another EP. And today I'm here with the fight breakdown and prediction between Liam Smith and Jesse Vargas. I know y'all weren't expecting this jump, huh? Know y'all weren't expecting this jump, but this fight is an interesting fight. You know what I mean? This fight is also on the zone card, this weekend. Again, I told y'all low key, low key this weekend, the zone, got a pretty, decent card, all things considered. When you consider Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano, when you consider Franchon Cruz versus Ellen Cineroos. And, you consider this, sleeper fight, that I'm talking to you about right now, Liam Smith versus Jesse Vargas. Now, this is Jesse Vargas's return fight. MP, what the fuck? What's good, fam? Appreciate you sliding through this junk, MP. Glad you could make it. If y'all could do your boy a favor, y'all hit that like button when y'all slide on through. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, but I think this is one of the, the sleeper fights this weekend. Jesse Vargas is making his ring return. Jesse Vargas has been off, 2 years. If you haven't, been keeping up, with Jesse Vargas, as of late, Jesse Vargas, he called out, Adrian Broner, to do a rematch fight, run a running back fight. Didn't really have no success at that. And then he said, you know what? I'll go fight Liam Smith. You know what I mean? I'll go fight Liam Smith. So we ended up getting Jesse Vargas versus Liam Smith. Liam Smith has been, the more active fighter. Liam Smith is coming off his fight against Anthony Fowler. Yeah, he's coming off his fight against Anthony Fowler. Is Liam Smith. I'm gonna bring my camera in a second. Then we gonna go through the the boss Rex and all that good stuff. Give your boy a second. Y'all do your boy a favor, hit that like button when you roll on in. Greatly appreciate it. Do your boy a favor, hit that like button when you roll on in. I'm about to get that boss Rex up. And again, y'all, I ain't ready. I ain't prepared for this because I never am. But we about to get it going. I'm about to get my screen up for you, so we could get going in this. This an interesting fight this weekend for me. If you're a betting person, I think this one, is one you may want to look at. You know what I mean? Again, like I said, Liam Smith has been the more, active fighter as of late. Liam Smith, he's 33-1. He's 30 wins, 3 losses, and 1 draw. 33-1. He has 17 KOs. Liam Smith is 33 years old. Liam Smith is 5'9", and his reach is not listed on this one for whatever reason. Sometimes that reach be listed, sometimes it don't. Again, like I told you, Liam Smith last fight was the TKO victory, over Anthony Fowler. Depending on how you rate Anthony Fowler, that could be, a pretty decent win, a good to pretty decent win, or, that win could not mean much to you. But he did stop Anthony Fowler. He also has a win over Roberto, Garcia, a guy, from the UK, that you might know, you may or you might not know, Sam Edgerton. He has a win over Sam Edgerton, as well. Sam Edgerton was one of those guys, that they was building up, over there in the UK. Again, this is a UK fight, as Eddie Hearn, the zone card. He also has a loss, and he has a UD against Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia is a fighter that, you may be familiar with, Golden Boy fighter. Jaime Munguia just is coming off a victory against, Gabe Rosado was his fight before last. Munguia is coming off a victory against, can't think of that guy, Demetrius Ballard. He's coming off a knockout win over Demetrius Ballard. It's Jaime Munguia. And also Liam Smith beat Liam Williams twice. If you guys know Liam Williams, the name sound familiar. It's because Liam Williams fought Boo Boo Andrade, not too long ago. Leon Williams just fought Chris Eubanks in more recent time than Boo Boo Andrade. I think his last 2 fights was Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade and Chris Eubank. You know what I mean? Leon Williams, he beat Leon Williams twice. Did Liam Smith. Again, he's 30, 3 losses, 1 draw with 17 KOs, and he's been stopped once. Jesse Vargas. Go get him up here. Jesse Vargas is 29, 3 and 2. There's 29 wins, 3 losses, and 2 draws. Jesse Vargas is 5'11" with a 71-inch on reach. Jesse Vargas last fight was against Mikey Garcia. And like I stated earlier, the return of Jesse Vargas is coming off a bit of a layoff. You can see right there, his last fight was in 2020. You know what I mean? It's 2022 now. You know what I mean? It was against Mikey Garcia, in which he lost a unanimous decision. But if you look a little closer to the fight, let's just look at the scorecards real quick. You got 111, 116. You got 111, 116. And you got 13-14. Now, he lost a unanimous decision, but in this fight, this was the close fight. You know what I mean? Not a lot of people overly, made a big deal about it. But Jesse Vargas was in this fight with Mikey Garcia. Some could say that, he even, eked this fight out a little bit. You got one judge who had, a 13-14 for Mikey Garcia, and that's more along the lines of what I saw the fight. But even if you go by 11-16, that's a close fight either way against Mikey Garcia. You know what I mean? So his last fight was against Mikey Garcia, which is a tough fight. Mike Garcia also has a draw up there. It's going down real quick. He has a draw against, Adrian Broner. So Jesse Vargas, I think I called him Jesse Garcia. My bad, Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas has been in, some close fights, with some big names. He also got a draw with a majority draw with Thomas Delorme, who Jerome Boost Ennis, had knocked out cold. But we all know Jesse Vargas ain't no Jerome Boost Ennis, you know what I mean? But he got Mikey Garcia, for reference that about his last fight, Adrian Broner. He also has a unanimous decision loss against Manny Pacquiao. You know what I mean? Again, in this fight, one judge had to fight, 13-14 for, Jesse Vargas. You know what I mean? But I don't think he beat Manny Pacquiao. But, Manny Pacquiao is on his record. He got Aaron Herrera on his, resume as well. Saddam Ali. He got Timothy Bradley Jr., you know what I mean, on his record, unanimous decision. He got Antonio DeMarco, on his record. Does Jesse Vargas. He got this guy. I'm going to butcher his name, Khabib. Y'all know who this is. This guy, I don't want to butcher his name. I want to show him to y'all, though. But yeah, this guy right here, pretty good fighter in his own right, type deal. But yeah, Jesse Vargas has pretty much fought the who's who. Steve Forbes, I knew some more people. That's why I kept going down. He fought, Steve Forbes as well. Did Jesse Vargas, Hodacito Lopez, did as well as Jesse Vargas. So Jesse Vargas has, he has a name. He has a resume of, of the who's who on his resume. You know what I mean? Does Jesse Vargas. So we got Jesse Vargas, 29, 3 and 2. He's facing off against Liam Smith, who's 33 and 1. Now Liam Smith is coming out for win over Anthony Fowler, just last year. And we got shout out my guy A9 Meter. Appreciate you sliding through this young A9 Meter. He coming off a knockout victory of Anthony Fowler, just last year is Liam Smith. And Jesse Vargas hasn't had a fight in 2 years. And then I know normally you would think, Jesse Vargas, probably don't stand a chance. He hasn't been that active. Liam Smith is the only Liam Smith is the more active fighter. You know what I mean? Vargas ain't had a fight in 2 years. A9 me said Lance Smith has only been stopped by Canelo. His brother Callum Smith lost at Canelo too, but never stopped him by KO. Right, facts. Shout out my nigga A9 me. Appreciate you sliding through this joint. So normally, you would go with the more active fight in these situations, which is always a good idea. Leon Smith is coming out a knockout victor over Anthony Fowler in this fight. As far as the styles go in this fight, Leon Smith is more so a boxer. He's more so like a boxer counterpuncher. He kind of waits for you, you know what I mean, to make your move, and then he fires off. You know what I mean? He got a decent jab, not the quickest hands, strong jab, does Leon Smith in this fight, which is what got to Anthony Fowler. Now, Anthony Fowler is Anthony Fowler isn't the best fighter out here, but Anthony Fowler isn't a bad fighter. You know what I mean? But Anthony Fowler and Jesse Vargas have two completely different styles. Jesse Vargas is the younger man in this fight, not the much younger man. He's only the younger man by a year, 33, 32. Leon Smith is the more active fighter. As far as recent history, as recent fights, you know what I mean? Type deal. But I think the style that Jesse Vargas possesses for Leon Smith is going to be all wrong. Again, like I was saying, Leon Smith is kind of a counterpuncher, jabber guy. You know what I mean? He doesn't have the fastest hands. Jesse Vargas is a high activity guy. He does, throw with power. Does Jesse Vargas, you know what I mean? He's not a guy who's overly strong or nothing like that. But, Jesse Vargas is an active fighter, and he does throw some heat. Jesse Vargas is a guy who, if I'm not, he's never been knocked out. You know what I mean? Is Jesse Vargas. Liam Smith has been, stopped once. If you fight, Jesse Vargas, you're going to be in for a fight again. Jesse Vargas doesn't have, a huge amount of knockout, but he does throw, with power, and he does throw a lot. He is like a pressure fighter, and when you pressure, I'm getting to my, breakdown and prediction stage. And when you pressure Leon Smith, Leon Smith kind of, goes up into that high guard. He kind of goes up into their shell. And I think the pressure of Jesse Vargas is going to cause Liam Smith to go up into that high guard and go up into their shell, a little more than he wants to. I think Jesse Vargas, even though he's coming off a 2-year layoff, I think Jesse Vargas is still, the more active puncher in this fight, the more valiant puncher. You know what I mean? So I expect his activity level to be, much higher than Liam Smith's activity level in this fight. You know what I mean? And if you're a betting person, Liam Smith is the favorite in this fight, and Jesse Vargas is the underdog in this fight. I'm finna tell you the odds in this fight. But to get into my prediction stage of it, I'm going to take Jesse Vargas. I'm going to take Jesse Vargas by unanimous decision. I'm going to give Jesse Vargas the victory because I think Jesse Vargas is going to be more active than Liam Smith. I think he's going to land on Liam Smith. Anthony Fowler was able to hurt Liam Smith in their fight, even though Liam Smith, came back to win the fight. Jesse Vargas is a plus 190 underdog, and Liam Smith is minus 250. You know what I mean? That fight is kind of close, but they're aging it. Liam Smith. I think Jesse Vargas has enough power, to keep Liam Smith honest. I think he has enough power to buzz or hurt, Liam Smith in this fight. And Jesse Vargas is an active fighter, and Jesse Vargas, doesn't have any back down in him, and he has a solid chin on him. So I don't see Liam Smith being able to stop Jesse Vargas. Hence, that Jesse Vargas has never been stopped in his career. You know what I mean? Liam Smith has only been stopped once, but he has been stopped. You know what I mean? In this fight, I think the activity of Jesse Vargas is going to be just a little too much for Liam Smith. He could overwhelm Liam Smith in this fight, which is what I'm thinking. But I think Liam Smith is going to be able to get to go all 12 because, again, he's only been stopped one time. You know what I mean? So in this fight, I'm going to go Jesse Vargas by unanimous decision. I think his style is going to be, his style of fighting is going to be just, a little too much for Liam Smith. He might not knock Liam Smith out, but I think he gonna overwhelm Liam Smith with, the value. And I think when he do land, he gonna keep Liam Smith honest, and Liam Smith is gonna be able to feel him. Jesse Vargas is no slouch. Jesse Vargas has losses on his record, but he only has losses to some of the best guys. Shout out my guy, boxing matchups and Dwayne Freeman. Appreciate you sliding through this junk. Glad you could make it, pimp. And shout out my guy, Mo Cheeks. Appreciate you sliding through this junk. Glad y'all good folks can make it. Can y'all do your boy a favor? Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. But I'm getting ready to get out for y'all. We gonna do Shakur versus Valdez next, and we gonna do an open panel on that one. I'm gonna do my fight, break down their prediction. Then I'm gonna let y'all hop on, and we gonna talk about that jump. We gonna start the week off right with Shakur versus Valdez, a little different. Dwayne, is you going live today? Dwayne, you going live today? But yep, I got Jesse Vargas, by unanimous decision versus Liam Smith. I see his work output being a little too much for Liam Smith, and I think he go overwhelm. Fact. Okay, bet, Dwayne. But I appreciate y'all sliding through this joint. Skin the Hardaway Sudden T. This ain't the past. This ain't the future, but this the present. That's how we rocking. And I'm out. Look, make sure y'all check out the other fight breakdowns and prediction I did. Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano and Franchon Cruz versus Ellen Cederroos. Make sure y'all check those junks out. Make sure y'all tune in for Shakur Stevenson versus Oscar Valdez fight breakdown and prediction. I'm either going to do that. Matter of fact, we going to do that junk as soon as I end this junk, because I'm guessing I got Dwayne Freeman going live at 1:30 my time, 2:30 his time. So I'm going to go, and set mine up for about, noon. 12:30. We're going to do about an hour fight breakdown with Shakur and Valdez. I'm going to do an open panel. But appreciate y'all folks sliding through this junk. Jesse Vargas by unanimous decision.